Hello, good morning, and afternoon, evening, whichever time zone you are across the world. You're also Austin, and I'm one of the many voices within our Kringle private society. It's been a while I gave a broadcast, but I think this is the last Friday of the month of May, and I'm here to give us a summary of what's going on in the community and a few other updates, which I hope I should be able to properly uh, disperse, before my broadcast runs out. So I'm on to you from Nigeria Live, and the title of my broadcast for today is "Who will be the anchors? Who will be the anchor of the Kringle Private Society?" Now, let's go straight to the point. The anchors of the Kringle Private Society are going to be the core team. These are the anchors, but I'm going to, as much as possible, use graphical presentations to explain what I mean. So far, we've been having meetings in our Kringle Private Society, and a lot of deliberations has been going on. And it's unfortunate that some things will change between now and the next 1 month or so. And one of the things that are going to change is your membership as a member, as a billionaire or as a millionaire or as a starter, as the case may be. Now, before now, we've been in the community for about 5 years and we are building. Now, a number of things has happened in the past. A number of people had enough TBC coins, and now their ownership or stewardship are being called into question. And a number of them are still dilly-dallying and are reluctant to even show up. So today I'm going to take time to explain. There is so much that I'll have to say, and if you are listening or will listen to this broadcast, whether I'm live or after this broadcast, do well to share it out, because those people who will listen to this and take actions are going to be for the better. But those who will choose to ignore the whole thing, well, time will tell. So I'll share my screen, and then after that, we go into details. So stay with me while I do that. And all right, my screen is now being shared, and I want to talk about this. This is the TBC mass adoption and rotator. Now, I want you to first of all understand, before I talk about the TBC mass adoption and rotator, let's first of all go into this. This is the TBC Kringle Cash back office. And there is something that I want us to understand about this. What I want us to understand, first of all, is that in the TBC community, we want to go into global adoption this year. That's one thing that all of us should bear in mind. If we don't go in for mass adoption or global adoption this year, it means that the elite control over mankind will become more pronounced, and you will see that they are going to continue to make movements more difficult. They are going to impose COVID-19 passports and a number of other things that they are doing. We do not want that. We want humanity to be free and let them be able to achieve and explore the ends of the earth. That's what our original goal are. And if we are going to achieve it, we are going to use whichever approach that is lawful, not legal. We are going to use whichever approach that is lawful to make sure that we get into our global adoption. One of the things that we should bear in mind is that for a community to stand, it must be well funded. For us to comfortably rival and subdue the elite control system, we must be properly funded. Over the past 5 years, we have been trying to talk to Africans, talk to the Asians, and then see how they can buy into this idea. I think the originator of this Kringle Private Society was very good and sincere enough to make the opportunity open to all. Of course, the whites and the Westerners, I think they didn't see any reason to reckon with us at the early stage. And then those who actually saw reason to reckon with us, possibly because the vision was to eradicate poverty. a number of them ran into this community thinking it was going to be something that will be short-lived or something that will be like how other systems are. Gather as much as you can and then go away from the system. That was not the original intent. The original intent of the founder is building a system from the scratch up that will stand the test of time. So we have tried to talk to Africans and so many other countries to come back and then build with us. So many of them, because they have seen that this system has to do with meritocracy, it has to do with integrity, it has to do with sacrifice, it has to do with telling people what we are doing, exposing the plans of the elites. They do not want it. Now let's think about it, let's negotiate. Where on earth has it ever been recorded that you started a business and then suddenly you make profits that runs into millions? If you look into the Alibaba project, you will find out that Alibaba projects had to take several years before they became known on a global scale. And when you come to ask the founder of Alibaba, which is I think Jack Ma or thereabout, he will tell you that he worked day and night without sleeping, that sometimes he slept 2 hours out of 24 hours. And that was just to make sure that his business becomes globally adopted. And it took him about 7 to 10 years or so, I can't recall. But it took him some time before he was able to break through. I don't think what we are doing is out of the ordinary. Even looking at Facebook, it didn't take Facebook all of a sudden to become globally known, and then other systems now go under. They kept working day and night. Same thing applies to Apple, same thing applies to Microsoft. All these systems began from somewhere. They were consistent and they were persistent until they became what they are today. It is not different from what we are doing in our Kringle society. If you want to be in the billionaire category, you have to pay the price. And what is the price? You have to decide to, number one, show integrity. You are getting married to the Kringle society. Now, from a Christian point of view, it is designed that you marry one wife and you must stay committed to that wife till death do you part. Now, that's the concept that we are using in our Kringle society. That's why this thing has clearly said, I believe you are seeing my screen, one person, one account. It means your one man or one woman should be able to manage an account forever, because the amount that will be given to you will be so abundant, and the responsibility that will be required of you as a stewardship to your account will be so much that you cannot divide your attention, you cannot multitask between two accounts. The responsibility required of you is a lifetime commitment. You either choose to become a bank at our economy phase that will be providing resources financially to the millionaires, which will also provide jobs for the rest of humanity. And that is going to be a day in, day out activity. You would have to employ staff. You would have to evaluate the performance of your staff and all that, and then pay them in Kringles at 100%. These things are what will come in the course of time. And that is the reason why we are calling out to those billionaires that are in Africa, in Asia, and in so many other countries who were early adopters to wake up and come into this system, because there are new sets of people who are going to flip the system around. And it's quite fortunate / unfortunate, because I do not know which of them to stand in, whether fortunate or unfortunate. Fortunate in the sense that these people are coming from a background that they are financially stable, and that the money we are asking of them is so little that they can afford to make a yearly subscription, all of them without any stress. Now, unfortunate, because once we have filled out the mass adoption team, the core team, then it's going to be such that this core team will sit down together and then deliberate on what will be done to those who are old members and are sitting on so much funds that belong to the Kringle Private Society. Now, we can liken those early people to people that are sitting on a mine. They are sitting on a mine, and that if things are not properly done, that mine will explode. And when it explodes, it's going to kill so many people, not just them, so many people around them. We are not a system that is funding terror. We are a system that is building in righteousness to stop this ungodly and unrest, this religious and political unrest that we do see in our different countries, the likes of Boko Haram, the likes of Al Qaeda, and all that and all that. We do not like such. We are trying to recreate heaven on earth. We want the Lord's Prayer. There was a place in the Lord's Prayer that said, "Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Now, the will of heaven will be done on earth. And the Kringle Society, even though we do not perfect it, we want to build something similar. And how do we achieve it? It is by making sure that meritocracy takes place. Meritocracy simply means to whom more is given, more is expected. And those people who are giving these coins will be able to be held accountable for the coins on how they spend those coins. They will be given enough TBC, they'll be given enough Bitcoin to build this community. Now, I have not talked about the mass adoption team yet, but then I'm actually giving you a prefix or giving you a foundational knowledge of what the anchors of the Kringle Private Society will be. Now, another thing I also want to talk about, I believe my screen is being shared, is this. This is what we will achieve soon. Now, I want us to listen to this particular information I'll pass across. Now, this particular information has to do with how our TBC community will be interacting with each other at our maturity. Mature TBC economy. Who are going to be the core team? Please hear me. The core team are going to be the first ladder, second ladder, third ladder, fourth ladder, and the fifth ladder, which will sum up to 11,111. These are the core team. This core team are the people that will help to keep the community like the heartbeat of the Kringle Private Society, provided these people are paying their yearly subscription fee. I didn't say monthly subscription fee. I said yearly subscription fee. Now you will say, but the administration says you have a choice. You can go for monthly, you can go for yearly. Now let me tell you why I say yearly subscription fee. The reason is because we are in a project. We are about launching a project, and that project is called United for Food, and we are still building on actualizing that. When you go to your core team, if you are an active member within our Kringle Society, you will see the number of people that are taking time to pay their monthly subscription / yearly subscription fee. You'll find out that the people who are required to pay the yearly subscription fee are very little, or the people that are supposed to pay the subscription fee as yearly subscribers are little. However, this new set of people that are coming in, which are mostly going to be Americans, will pay yearly because they have funds. They have more than enough funds to run the TBC economy without stress. They are already millionaires. They are more than 6-7 figures income earners. They are forex traders, and they know the system of the world. They know it's corrupt, and they want to change it. They want to end wars. They want to end poverty, but their system is using or intermingling with the elite system to get some money to help to solve those problems. But you cannot strike a deal with the devil and expect to be innocent, because the system across the world has been set up in such a way that the elite has infiltrated every nooks and crannies. But then in our TBC community, it is not the way the world system operates. It is separate from the world system. Okay, so these people are going to be the core team, and they are required to pay yearly subscription so that there will be enough money to keep the food subsidy centers running. Let me say it again. If this core team are paying monthly, at some point they will run out of funds, and if they are supposed to pay on the first, possibly they will pay on the second. Administration of the community needs enough money to keep the TBC community running going forward. Now, when we start the food subsidy, we will not start that food subsidy until we have had at least 11,111 people pay their subscription fee, some monthly, some yearly. Maybe majority of them will be on monthly subscription. But if this new set of people who are coming in pay yearly subscription, then that means this area will be filled out. What will that imply? It will simply imply that there will be enough funds that will be at the disposal of the administration to kick off a food subsidy center. already an app is already being developed or has already been developed, but finishing touches are being carried out. Once that app has become officially put into the community, which will happen about next week, which is next month, then people in the whole TBC community will be able to have an idea of the number of people who are actively paying their subscription fee. Whether you are paying monthly or you're paying yearly, it doesn't really matter. The point is, with the help of the app, 1,000 people, if the system or the app sees 1,000 people within a particular area, what happens is that they will fall under the priority list. Falling under the priority list now means that if the administration looks into a number of things and thinks that these people are most qualified, of course, that is the qualification at the moment. You must have 1,000 active members, and the support that will be holding this system, I'll call them the heartbeats, I'll call them the anchors. They have to be at least 20,000. This is the original plan, 20,000 people that will be anchoring this system. These 20,000 people will be paying yearly subscription so that there will be enough funds to run this food subsidy. I do not know where it's going to start, but the bottom line is, once within a particular community there are 1,000 people paying their monthly or yearly subscription fee, they fall under the priority list. And then with that, a food subsidy center is set up. We are looking at starting the food subsidy center with about 50,000 on a first run, which we'll use for logistics, for purchase of those things. We will be dealing directly with the manufacturers so that they can bring it, and then once it is supplied into that place, the food subsidy starts, and then we'll also have a committee that will administer those things so that things can run. We're going to also employ staff so that they can monitor those things and also make sure that we beef up security. Now, once that food subsidy center starts, we're going to start opening several franchises. If we get the first 11,111, what happens is that if these people pay yearly subscription fee, I think this is at the discretion of the administration. We may start up that food subsidy. If those people, which I have said, 11,111, all pay their yearly subscription fee, already this new set of people coming in are ready to overturn the whole system, and they will come like a swarm of bees, and they will flood the system with so much of their people, and those people will be actively paying their subscription fee. So there will be enough money to run the business. And it is just coincidental or fortunate that they are from the United States. Once that happens, the food subsidy centers start. Now, my emphasis here is this. Those that are going to be in the core team or in the mass adoption team will be paying a yearly subscription. They will be paying a yearly subscription. The reason is because there should be enough funds running in the TBC community so that we can easily set up different food subsidy centers from the active members that are paying yearly subscription fee. There should be enough cash reserved to be able to fund the business. So the plan A is that the 11,111, which are the core team, that will be enjoying 100 TBC every month. And at the same time, every other bonus, such as the 500 TBC that is currently running, and the 1,000 TBC, which is also retroactive, they will also enjoy it. These ones will be given the core of the TBC in the TBC community, and it is expected that over time, they should be consistently paying on a yearly basis. Now, the other set of people are the 20,000. The 20,000 people still should be able to pay yearly subscription fee. The reason is because we need enough cash reserves. There will be more burden in the TBC community as these food subsidy centers are being set up. So there should be an anchor that is supplying the funds, which should be on a yearly basis, so that there will be more than enough reserves to be able to set up these food subsidy centers across the world. Now, option B, or subset, not option B, subset of option A or of target A is that the 1,000 people that are regularly paying within a particular geographical entity, whether they are paying monthly or yearly, it doesn't matter. But those people are going to be another people that will be put into consideration so that it would give grounds for us to set up that food subsidy. And those people paying either monthly or yearly, provided they are paying it regularly, they will continue to enjoy that food subsidy of 50% in Kringles, 50% in cash. Now, these ones that are paying on a yearly basis, which are ultimately going to be 11,000 or 111,111, those ones are going to be the mass adoption team. So the thing is going to slowly metamorphose from, at this moment, everybody is not paying yearly subscription. Some are paying. But with time, everybody who are going to be anchoring this TBC community and will be enjoying the rotator, because it is the rotator that will determine how these people are going to be classified. Those that will pay yearly subscription fee will enjoy a reasonable percentage of the rotator. They will be a part of the rotator. Those who are paying monthly, if someone else comes from the back who is yearly paying on a yearly subscription, the person will have higher preference compared to you that is paying monthly subscription. The reason is because the 500,000 that will be given to the 111,111 are going to be the anchors or the foundation of the TBC community. So the system will reward them handsomely by giving them the rotator. The rotator is apart from their own downlines. The rotator is what you call the treasury of the TBC community. And then this 111,111 will be subdivided into different sectors, different areas, and they will now start changing the world. One of the instances is, for instance, they want to begin to rebuild the current education system. Maybe they could go to places like Nigeria, and then they look at a place maybe in Lagos, and then on behalf of the Kringle Society, they set up a school. The fundings that are provided will be in Bitcoin. So with the Bitcoins that are being provided at 500,000 or whichever the currency is, maybe 500,000, 200,000, depending on when we come to the economy phase, these funds will be used by the community or the committee. All these committees are going to also be in the mass adoption team. They are also going to bring their money together and then maybe set up a school. Once the school has been set up, they will employ staff, they will employ teachers, they will employ different people, they will employ principals, they will employ several people. And those people that will be employed will be tested and trusted. And then we as a community will pay them in 100% Kringles. These are just one of the areas that we're going to specialize in. We're going to specialize in every area that you can think of. We're also going to specialize in civil service, but ours won't be just, it will be private civil service. We're going to interact comfortably side by side with the present elite system. And then people that will understand that in our system we pay more, they will prefer working with us. And as more people begin to work with us, the elite system will continue to go down until the elite system has been overridden by the private Kringle Society. Now, why am I saying all these things? I'm saying this because if you're an old member or you're a new member, it doesn't matter who you are. You have what you call a responsibility to remain in this core team. I have established the fact that the 111,111 long term will have to pay yearly subscription because the system needs enough funds to be able to help set up this food subsidy. Remember that we're running a project at a loss. We are running at a loss because we are providing a 50% discount for people who will enjoy this food subsidy ongoing. And that is why this mass adoption team, the system is depending so much on them. We are not waiting for them to pay 1 month. Maybe on the month of January, they pay on the 1st. Then on the month of March, they pay on the 3rd. On the month of April, they pay on the 16th. That's not how we are looking at it. We're looking at people that will regularly pay 1 year so that funds will be readily available for the system to run. And then the following year, they can also make payments. At some point, it will now be such that we can pay 2 years. At some point, it's such that we can pay 3 years. The reason why is because funds should always be available to make sure that these food subsidy centers are running concurrently. Now, at United States, there will be a food subsidy center, several franchises, depending on how many people are paying their monthly or yearly subscription within a geographical area. If that is not happening, unfortunately, there won't be a food subsidy center set up. But from the way things are going, it's very, very obvious that they may start up from the United States. Then UK will also be there, Netherlands will be there, Spain will be there, Italy will be there, Africa will also be there. But you see, when you come to think at it, look at it critically, I really wonder how many Africans are ready to consistently keep paying their yearly subscription fee. Are we going to be able to get up to 1,000 people that would steadfastly keep paying their yearly subscription fee? The truth is that we can, but so many of us hasn't come to terms with how this TBC community operates. If they come to that terms, you will see that so many people will want to take part in this. It is the merchants that will benefit the most. But once the mass adoption team and that opportunity will be gone. And once this happens, there will be what you call a migration into a new blockchain. Now, that migration is to seal these 1 million members, 1,111,111. Once these numbers has been filled out, then those people who are old members and their accounts are not active, their account will be put on hold in the sense that their send button will be taken out, so that this 1,111,111 people can migrate into a new blockchain. Then after that, the buttons are released for those old members. If they now migrate, of course, they are migrating when they have paid their subscription fee, but they'll be paying this time not as billionaires, but as millionaires, because the billionaire positions has already been filled out. Now, when they move into that new blockchain, possibly their account would have been reduced to 0.9999 Kringle coins. This is how our system is going to run. So those of us that are in this TBC community and are still dilly-dallying, the opportunity is now. If you think you'll be smart then and you want to migrate into the new blockchain, you will find out that you are supposed to make your payments for your area payments, meaning that if, for instance, we're migrating by the month of September and then you haven't been paying throughout this year, you now want to be among the smart guys that will migrate. And then when you migrate, you remain redundant, doing nothing. The system will ask you to pay a yearly subscription if you want to be among those that will migrate. Now, if you have not been paying every month, do you think you'll be willing to pay every year? I want you to also know that before the migration will take place, it will be set up in such a way that TBC will not have what you call the immediate value at the moment. It will be such that after the migration has taken place, then you will begin to see value, because when that migration has taken place, you will begin to see food subsidy centers set up in different places. People will now begin to become excited about it and they want to enjoy the opportunity. They want to bring in 50 million, 100 million so that they can get reasonable positions because they've started seeing value in TBC. But you'll find out that at that point, the billionaire position has been filled out. So it will be impossible with your $100 billion to get even one TBC at that point. It will become 1,000 times impossible to do that. So why I'm actually making all these buttress is because we are still in the billionaire stage. We have not come to the millionaire stage yet. So I wouldn't need to buttress or talk about the millionaire stage. The conclusion of what I'm saying, or the summary of what I'm saying, is we are going to have several migrations. We are going to have first migration, that is from now, after this billionaire stage has been filled out. We will also have another migration after this 10 million has been filled out. We're also going to have another migration after this 100 million and then at this 1 billion. Now, these migrations will be improved upon for every stage. The way we did it this time, that the billionaires will be filled out, to be different from how we'll do it when the first millionaires will be filled out, the second millionaires, and everything will be kind of automated. But the truth is that reality can play out. Some people will migrate into the new wallets when we enter this 1 million people filled out. But in the course of time, a lot can happen. A lot of eventualities can happen. So to be sure that nothing is missing out, they will do another migration. We are working on living men and living women. A lot could happen in the course of time. Some people could be short of funds. Deaths could happen to some or any. We don't pray for it. But what we are just trying to say is that we want to make sure that we have 1 billion active members in the TBC community that are helping to run the TBC community concurrently. I believe I've said so much, So if you are a member in the community and you are still here and you are still dilly-dallying, please wake up from your sleep. The people that are going to run this TBC economy are going to be those who are ready to pay the price, and the rotator will compensate for them. If you pay yearly subscription this year, next year, by the time you have paid next year, you'll find out that the rotator will be favoring you because you'll be getting enough money from the rotator. And at some point, that money will be more than the subscription fees you are paying. Why is that? It's because people are already patronizing these different food subsidies. So if you are in the TBC community and you are in the mass adoption team, paying your monthly subscription, when this swarm, which are from the United States, begin to pay on a yearly basis, I want you to realize that the system will take precedence. It will take preference to those who pay yearly compared to those who pay monthly. Even though you're bringing in new members or new merchants, you should also know that what will take preference first are the yearly subscribers, because funds are of major priority at this point. Now, with time, if you are paying yearly subscription and you are bringing in at least one merchant to the community, then it's a guarantee that you'll be among the mass adoption team and you'll continue to enjoy $500,000 every month. That thing could appreciate because it won't be so long from now that the system will move into a gold-backed system. The economic system will soon go down. And once that happens, there will be a system that will be backed up by gold. It will be a digital system, but backed up by gold. When that happens, the prices of gold will skyrocket. These things people should put into their sites and then make a projection into the nearest future, because the TBC community, we will literally take power out of the hands of the elites. I am saying it out, and I'm saying it without apology. We are going to take power out of the hands of the elites and return the power to the most qualified, the most the most intelligent, the wisest, the most credible. I was looking for the right word. The most credible, I think that's the right word. Those who are ready to help humanity, those that are willing to build in love and respect, those that want the world to be a better place, those that have a godly heart. That's what we're going to do. And of course, nothing on earth comes without making the right sacrifice. I'm going to stop here. I've talked about the anchors. Those that are in the TBC community that wants to be in the anchor, prepare yourself, work hard, work smart, whichever way you want to do it. Just make sure that in time, as the community gets more organized, those who will anchor this system long term, they will have to be yearly subscribers. If you are not in the yearly subscribers and some other people come and start paying yearly subscription, their chances of overthrowing you will be high. Okay? I'll stop here. So I wish us well. Let me go back to my all right. There has been 2 people listening, and I've taken about 32 minutes, and no one has made any contribution. I would have said so much, but I don't want to go more than this. Maybe consequently, I would throw more light. We are coming to the end of the month. We are coming to the end of the month. By Monday, it will be the end of the month. By next week, the app will come in, and we are still growing. You know, there's a place of the scriptures that says the race is neither for the swift, neither is the battle for the strong, neither are riches for men of understanding. You know, now riches are not for men of understanding, because when it comes to people that are extremely intelligent, I don't happen to be among those that are as smart as Albert Einstein, those guys that were inventors. I may not be among those categories, but I'm smart. I'm able to see things and then make projections and see how it's going to play out in the nearest future. Possibly that's why I'm in the TBC community. And at the point when we have come into our economy phase, I will definitely be among those that will be in the mass adoption team. By the special grace of God, I will be among those that are going to be enjoying the rotator. And when it comes to times where the board of trustees and then the privy council will be set up, it's going to be based on past record, based on how well you have represented the TBC community. Now, I am believing that I would also feature in that level. It's going to be something that time will speak about. But these people are going to be the people that will set examples for how the world will live in a godly manner, in a righteous manner, in a manner that glorifies God, and then also shows that men can do things in a way that is good, not ways that are ungodly. So I believe that when that time comes, it will speak out. And if there is anyone that wants to make any contribution, I'm about rounding off this meeting. And if there's nobody that will make any contribution, I think I'll call this quits for today. So any contributions, I think I'll call it quits. Okay? All right. So thank you very much for those of us who came in and listened to me to this point. I really, really appreciate. So till I come your way again, most likely on Monday or depending, but you will see me very soon. Cheers and do have a wonderful day. God bless you all. Bye for now.